Have you ever noticed how certain movie shots just feel right? They're not just beautiful, but also seem to draw your attention to the most important part of the frame effortlessly. This is the magic of the rule of thirds, one of the most fundamental principles of cinematic composition. Let's start with the basics. The rule of thirds divides the frame into 9 equal parts using 2 horizontal and 2 vertical lines. By placing key elements of a shot along these lines, or at the points where they intersect, you create a composition that feels natural, balanced, and engaging. Instead of centering the subject, which can feel static or unnatural, the rule of thirds encourages filmmakers to use symmetry to create dynamic tension and visual interest. For example, in Skyfall, Bond is placed along one vertical line, while the glowing golden background occupies the other 2/3, creating a balanced yet dynamic composition that feels natural. But why is this rule important, you might ask? The rule of thirds is not just about making a shot look pretty, it's also about storytelling. By positioning characters or objects strategically, directors can guide the audience's focus. Take The Social Network, when Mark Zuckerberg, played by Jesse Eisenberg, sits off to the side in many shots. It reflects his isolation and detachment. The rule of thirds not only directs our attention to him, but also emphasizes the emptiness around him, reinforcing the film's themes. Now contrast that with Mad Max Fury Road, when Furiosa is framed against the barren desert. She's placed off-center, making room for the vast emptiness around her. This composition heightens the sense of desolation and adds emotional weight to the scene. Even in horror, the rule of thirds is a powerful tool. In The Shining, Stanley Kubrick often places characters off-center in long corridors. This subtly builds tension by making the space around them feel overwhelming, trapping them in the unsettling symmetry of the Overlook Hotel. Now, Wes Anderson famously ignores the rule of thirds, favoring symmetry instead. But even he uses the principle when balancing other elements, like the positioning of objects or characters within the perfectly aligned frame. Of course, rules are made to be broken. Centering a subject can be incredibly powerful when used sparingly. For example, in Joker, Arthur Fleck is often centered in the frame to isolate him emotionally and draw unrelenting attention to his transformation. The point is not to follow the rule blindly, but to understand when and why breaking it might serve the story better. The rule of thirds is one of the first things filmmakers learn, and for good reason. It is simple, yet incredibly versatile. It allows directors to compose shots that are not only visually appealing, but also emotionally resonant. From the vast landscapes of The Revenant to the intimate close-ups in Lady Bird, this principle helps bring stories to life. And while it is just one tool in a filmmaker's toolbox, mastering it is a crucial step towards creating frames that captivate and communicate.